Well, Giants and Rams. Giants got back. Looked more impressive. Looked impressive opposed to how they looked in Week 1. There's not a ton to say here. Eli looked good. They ran the ball. They passed the ball at will and put up a 40 burger. And can't ask for much more than that. I will say the Rams finally supplied maybe their first really jump up and cheer moment of the year when Bulger threw it deep to Holt on that 40-yard touchdown where Holt juggled it at the end zone over a cornerback and caught it. But through 2 games, the Rams have produced one jump up and cheer play, so that tells you a little bit about them. That tells you why I'm mailing it in if we can't beat them next week. So, Skins and Saints. Skins, let me down again. Last year they did this quite a bit. I kept picking them, I stuck with them, and they won a couple times, but ultimately they would let down more than they satisfied. And they're going to be better. They were missing a lot of defensive starters in this game. They didn't have McAllister, but even despite all of that, they should have won this game. They were in a position to take it, and they let it slip away. So, a couple of tipped interceptions, the unfortunate Shockey fumble, Chris Horton always being in the right place. Horton, here's a who? That's got to be his nickname, right? It's got to be, if he becomes a player in this league, it's got to be Chris Horton, here's a who. There's no other way around it. Anyway, he was just always in the right place, and those turnovers ended up being killer because the Saints were able to really dominate the game in the latter portions for the most part, and that tells you the story there. Santana Moss looks like he might be getting back to 2005 form. First 2 games, he's looked nice. Campbell played an excellent game. Portis was big. He's on one of my fantasy teams that actually dominated this week, so I actually had Portis, Owens, and Bolden. That tells you what needs to be said. And as for the Saints, I thought that they looked all right out there. A couple of just unfortunate turnovers, and that's the way the ball bounces sometimes. And Bush is, a lot has been said about Bush. Is he cut out for the NFL? He's looking all right now, so I'm glad things are working out for him. And Breeze continues to find a way to make plays no matter who he's throwing to. He doesn't have Colston. He used, Robert Meacham, Devery Henderson. He was finding ways to make plays, so credit to him, as always. Bucks beat the Falcons, as expected. Matt Ryan takes his lumps, but he stood in there. He took it like a man. You can be a man. And, Brian Greasy steps in and wins, and I know Garcia and Gruden want to kill each other right now, and this isn't going to help. The Bucks win this game and all, so I assume Garcia is going to get traded real soon, but I don't know where. Ernest Graham had a good game. Warwick Dunn got a touchdown on his old team. And it's good to see Dunn still being productive in his old age. I'm glad to see him still making plays. Cardinals and Dolphins. Warner throws in a perfect outing. Quarterback rating was perfect. Finding Fitz, finding Bolden. They look like the best team in the division right now, and it hurts me to say that, but they do. Hopefully things will change, but right now you got to say that passing attack, that offense is clicking. Their defense is starting to get things together. They look good. And I can't lie about that. And as for the Dolphins, well, I was underwhelmed. After what they did last week against the Jets, I thought they were better than that. Didn't happen. I still think Pennington makes them credible. And they'll win a couple games this year, but I don't know when. Broncos Chargers. What a game. The weirdest part was when neither team put up 40 points. But even so, offensive back and forth, a couple of turnovers that meant the world to both teams really, but there were only 2 turnovers in the whole game. Both of them were huge. One of them was Bull, but we'll get to that. High-scoring affair. Brandon Marshall, again, he reminded me of Kellen Winslow Sr. in that Chargers-Dolphins playoff game so many years ago. Just all over the field, getting open, making every catch you could imagine, making plays. And that's why he's on his way to becoming an elite wide receiver. That's why he is the next Terrell Owens. Cutler played a wonderful game. That interception in the end zone, that kind of threw me because he would have been playing great all game, and then he does that. Throw it away. And that should have cost Denver this game. Furthermore, got to give credit to San Diego's offense. They didn't have LT. Gates isn't 100%. They didn't have, like, McNeil or Hardwick, and they got it done. They found ways to generate points with Sproles, special teams, and offense. Chambers had a great game. Just everybody chipping in, finding a way to put up 38 points without some of your best players. So, hats off to them. And we all know about the call. And if you guys don't know, basically, one, there was a Chris Chambers fumble earlier in the game that he was clearly down, but it was called a fumble, and then the replay official could not look at it because the equipment was malfunctioning, so Denver had to keep the ball. Okay, that's to err is computer, I guess. At the end of the game, Chargers up by 7. Denver has the ball at the 1 with 1st and goal. Cutler drops back, clearly fumbles. You know, he's going like this. The ball just slips out, but he wasn't going forward. That ball was a fumble. San Diego recovers. Game over. There's only like 2 minutes left. Referee whistles, so the play is dead before the Charger player picks it up. They review it, and they say, yes, it's a fumble, but we cannot give it to San Diego because we blew the whistle. And Hockley readily admits it. Ed Hockley, one of my favorite actually my favorite referee. He's got the guns, man, and he's 57. He's in shape, but he's distraught over this. I mean, if you've heard some of the things, you know, he's just torn up over this call. He can't believe he blew it. He readily admits, as soon as he made the call, I blew it. So Denver keeps the ball. 4th and goal. They get a touchdown, and they go for 2. Make it, win the game. I just got to give credit to Mike Shanahan for going for 2. Awesome call. You don't trust your defense to stop San Diego? I wouldn't either. San Diego was dominating them up and down the field. It was a offensive shootout for both sides. I love that call. Win or lose it right there. And of all people to make the play, Royale with cheese. That's another nickname that has to happen. The Royale with cheese. Rookie out of VT, Eddie Royal, looking like a young superstar. So, my condolences to San Diego, to the Minnesota fans, the Jaguars fans. You're 0-2. Painful losses. All around. Painful losses. I feel for you. Especially San Diego. There's no other way to put it. You got screwed. That was a win. And, you know, Turner, you should have heard him after the game. He was mad. Rightfully so. Patriots, Jets. Patriots win. I'm a little disappointed in the Jets. They were making plays offensively, but it never came to pass that they actually put a significant number of points up. Again, you know, Coles and Kotri were making plays. They were running the ball reasonably well. They were doing a lot of things right, but it never turned into points. They couldn't protect Favre. They had a really hard time protecting Favre. And there's not a lot else to say here. Cassell just managed the game. I still don't believe in Cassell, but the Patriots are 2-0. I still think that they could have a decent regular season, as I said before. Don't count out that possibility. If Matt Cassell keeps doing what he's doing and the defense magically comes up with stuff like this, which won't last all year, but it could last for a while, and that might be enough. And now suddenly we think, how good are the Jets really? We'll see. The Steelers and Browns, not a lot to say here, not an overly exciting game. As expected, Pittsburgh wins. They didn't look as good as I thought they would have, but they ran the ball well, they passed it efficiently, came up with a big red zone turnover, and they win. Finally, big Monday night game of the year so far probably, Dallas-Philly, points, turnovers, offenses marching up and down the field, huge plays, just everything you could ask for in a game, except if you really like shutdown defense. But McNabb, I gotta say, you played great, but you gave it up at the end. Not only did he botch the handoff, overthrew Westbrook on that screen, passed when he should have ran on the last drive, took some sacks he shouldn't. So I got to put this on him a little bit. He's a great quarterback. He played a great game, but I got to put this one on him if there's any one person you can put it on. But great game by both sides. I can't wait for the rematch. All parties involved. Awesome, awesome stuff. That's week 2. Week 3. Who knows what that'll bring.